So cool. Okay, I think we've got Dr. Zion on now. I'm going to get her in. Hello, hello. And hello, Buki. Lillian, hi. Hey, Doc. She's here. She's here. Hi, Doc.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good, good,
It's good to
good.
have you here.
I know. It's great to be here. Can you hear me
Uh,
properly?
yes, I can hear you.
Great.
Guys, can you hear Dr. Zion? Please let's know if you can hear both of us clearly. Hey, the good doctor is in the house. Please give the
Yes.
doc a good welcome. Give her a warm welcome. You know, this is her first time of joining us here. So give her a warm welcome. Let her feel comfortable. Yes, doctor.
Thank you. Yes, you can hear clearly. Hi, Shadi, how are you?
Good, good, good.
Something
Hi,
simple.
Festivola.
At last.
Hey, Mojisola. Hi, hi,
Hi,
hi.
Gumbi.
To me. Please show her some love. Show Dr. Zion, show her some love. Hi, Busola. Yes, thank you, Lillian. That's it. Hug, hug,
Hello,
hug. Give her a
hello.
big hug.
Oh,
Give her
hello.
some.
Hi, Aramide. Hello, Busola. Hey,
Hey.
it's Ola. How are you? Sister. Renix.
Thank you so much. Welcome.
Thank you,
welcome.
Shadi. I love that. Thank you for showing me the love.
See, Doc, we all want to make you feel welcome today.
Thank you. Now I'm so much calmer now. I feel the Hi, Buki.
So, hi guys. How have you all been? I know lockdown is slowly being eased, or what's the right word? Sorry?
No, I said it's been released. We're being released.
Yes, we're being released.
It's been eased. Oh,
But how are you guys doing? Are you all, have you all started going out? Are you out there? Just let us know. What are you doing? Have you started going to the shops?
I went out
Okay,
briefly
thank you.
yesterday. Yes.
I think there's a delay in my thing.
Yeah.
Yes,
I think
there
there's
is
a delay too. Yeah. Things are coming in slowly.
slowly. Yeah. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's from my end.
Look,
That's
everybody's
interesting.
on, the network is busy. The networks are crazy on a Saturday morning. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because I
Okay.
just yeah.
Dele says she only
Okay.
goes out for boot camp.
Boot camp.
Yeah.
Okay. Someone said not yet. I'm
Yeah.
not out there. No. Only for essentials. I know.
Yep.
Someone said let the first batch of people go.
Exactly. Most of
Yeah,
us
I'm
is
going
just
for
to
my
buy
work.
food.
Yeah. I think we need, really, honestly, I think we need to be careful. Yes, take your time. Yeah, there's no rush. Oh, you saw your mom for the first time in 3 months. That's great. Oh, yeah. No, we really have to be careful. Just take it easy and slowly. Don't rush out there. So, yeah. I like Mother Shala said, let the first batch of people. What does that mean?
It's true. Let the first batch of people, let them go so we know that it's safe. Because there are people who are champing at the bit. They really want to be out there. So,
Yeah.
for me, there's no rush.
There's no rush. No, seriously. I don't think there's any rush. I just
Hello, Joe.
want to increase my volume a bit more. Yeah, I think that's better. Yeah. Right. So, Doc.
Yeah, let me be
Oh,
vain.
did you fix your hair?
Well, I retouched it myself. I've become quite a retoucher now. So yes, I had to retouch it because it was getting too wild. It was getting too thick, and I
So, is
couldn't.
all this your hair?
It is, though. It is.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Plenty of length and nobody.
Wow. That's really good. Oh my goodness.
Thank you. No, I have very long hair. I have it blends nicely with the weave. That's why I leave it long. If not, I cut it short. Yeah, it's so that it blends nicely with the weave. When we get back to wearing weave on one day.
But I'm good. I'm not telling you. I'm not saying next week, Saturday. You guys just look out. Just look out for me.
For the new you.
For the new me, yes. The new me. For the new me.
We shall wait to see.
Yes.
We shall wait to see.
Pleasant surprise, but hey, we'll wait to see. So, Doc, I'm sure you've joined us a few times, as in you've joined the session. So you know that we give hugs, virtual hugs. So I'm hugging you. Can we give some hugs, please, people?
I miss the hugs, you know.
Give me some hugs. Oh,
yeah.
I'm sending
I'm
you
a hugger and I can't hug anybody.
Thank you. They love our earrings.
Thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much, Sister Botte.
Thank you. Hi, Kika, I can see you. Oh, thank you. Renix.
Hi, Esther.
So thank you for the hugs. We really appreciate the hugs. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Agaderonke.
Thank you. Oh, before we go, I'm going to do a giveaway today.
Okay.
Someone bought 5 books, 5 of my books, and said I should give them out. Okay. So I'm going to give a quick, I'm going to ask a quick question. I think Tinuka is on and Bisola, you're on. So the first 5 people to get it right, I'm sorry, but only if you live in the UK. Only if you live in the UK. So the first 5 people to get this, Tinuka and Bisola, please note who the first 5 people are. So this
Can I participate?
No, Doc, sorry. You already have my book anyway, so
I'll give somebody.
You give somebody. Okay. Actually, let me even check this just to make sure that I know the right answer. I mean, I should know it, but just to double check that I've got the right answer. Oops. Okay. I'm going to have to just do a quick check. I thought I knew the answer, but I might be wrong, and I don't want to get it wrong. Okay. No. So this is the question.
Thank you, Debbie C.
This is the question.
Okay.
The first session of Hangout Cafe was when? So I want the date and the month. The first person together. The first session of Hangout Cafe was when? Okay. When was it? When was it? Who gets this? Let's see. I'm waiting.
Okay, it's a non-Jade question, so it's okay. Because someone had a question that it has to be.
No, it's a non-Jade question. So when did we have the first? I said the date and the month. So don't tell me it was. I saw somebody said something. So I the person that said, Deronke, I saw your answer, but yes, but the day, yes, I know the day. So let's say 20. Yes, Deronke, you got it. Okay, I can see that. So that's 1. No, Godia at 50. That's wrong. No, Joy.
Potential, you know.
No. Easter period.
Yinka Dairo got it, has it? And Shade has got it.
Shade, yeah. Okay, yeah, so you got 3. It. I don't mean by no. Nah. So at least 3 people or so. I think I've seen 3 that got it right. Detola, no,
Linda,
no.
Yes, Shade got it. Yes.
Okay, Chinyere got it. Okay, I think that's 5 people now. I think, or 1 more. Tito me. Okay, 1 more, and that's it. Okay, now the 5 people, please send me a DM. Just send me a DM. The 5 people, like Deronke, can't remember now. I hope
Shade,
Olayinka, Tito me. Oh, we have 5. Okay, that's fine. So you know the 5 people, Tinuka, 5. You know the 5 people, right? Funola said, is it guesswork?
No, my darling, it's knowledge or good guessing.
Oh gosh. Okay, so let's get down to the business of today. Thank you again. So my dear, well, I won't call her a guest. She's my sister. She's my friend. She is someone I've known for 25 years. Yeah, loads of years.
So they wouldn't know our age.
So, okay, that's true. We don't want them to know our age, please. Okay.
In our dreams.
So she's my sister. You know, when I think about her, I think about the word classy. I think about the word kind. And I think about the word nice. She's a lovely person. She is a lovely person.
Oh,
You know, when I hear her speak, you know, I just look at her and I say, oh, I want to be like Dr. I want to be like Dr. Sorry, Temidire, you missed it. It's too late now. Next week, there'll be another giveaway. Yes, no, she is a lovely, lovely lady, and I love her to bits.
Thank you. So
we've worked together.
Too. Yeah, the things we get up to.
Yeah, yeah. We've served together at Jesus House for years.
Yeah.
I've worked with her. She's a woman of integrity. She's a character. She's well-rounded. And you know, the thing is, she's a woman who's been through a lot. You know, yesterday I was saying to my husband, I said, do you think everyone has a story? And he said, yes, we all have stories. And this woman has a lot. You know, I was thinking about you, Doc, today. And I think actually I'll get you to just share quickly, just maybe, I don't know how long you want it, but quickly, just so that people will know that this person sitting here, she has a story. Or stories, rather, not just one, stories. Oh, yes, gosh, she's always smiling. That's it. Yes, that's it. Someone just said, always smiling. That's true. You're always smiling. But she's a registered counselor. She's a psychotherapist. Doc, do you want to tell us what else you do? Just tell us a little bit about yourself, just so that those that don't know you will.
I mentor.
A bundle of goodness, yeah.
I coach. As I say, I'm a psychotherapist. I love women, so I'm very involved with the women's ministry at Jesus House. Yeah, I lecture a lot. I love music. I love people. I love going to the theater, cinema, anything like that, anything arty. I love reading. You can lock me away with a pile of books and I'll be as happy as Larry. So yeah, that's kind of me. Yeah.
Great. Okay. So I'm going to get you to share your story in a bit, but you know, I was thinking that we live in a society where every one of us, we're all struggling with one thing or the other. Whether it's motherhood, whether it's mental health, whether it's work, whether it's abuse, it's one thing or the other. In fact, there's nobody, I don't know if there's anybody here that's listening that does not have a story, something that they're going through. Every single one of us is going through something. But the truth is that we find it difficult to come out to say, I'm going through this, or to come out to say, I need help. You know, and I get it. I honestly get it, because even for me, I don't always come out to say, oh, I need help, or I'm going through this. It's a struggle for a lot of us to be vulnerable, and that's because we don't want to be judged. We fear that, oh, if I say this, I'll be rejected. You know, people will judge me. Yes, they'll say, why did you put yourself in that position? You know, and all of that stuff. So people don't want to come out to tell their story. But the thing is, we all have a story. So Doc, before I go on again, tell us a little bit about your story.
Okay. My story. Very interesting story. Well, I don't know about interesting. I'll try and put it very simply. I went to medical school. Yes, I did study medicine in University of Lagos. I qualified, graduated, started working, met a man, married him. That's another story altogether. Yeah. I really wanted, I've always been very motivated. I think one of the things I always wanted from life, I wanted to be a mom. So yes, when I didn't get pregnant immediately, that was a problem for me. So I did everything I could. I had my first child. I was so excited. It was a little boy. Then he fell ill. And I couldn't, you know, here was I, the doctor. I believed in medicine. I believed in everything, that medicine would get him right. You know, kind of, we've got we had to get an air ambulance back to the UK. He died. I was totally devastated. I couldn't understand how somebody, you know, how we could get to the best medicine in the world and he didn't survive. So this took me back to something that I grew up a Christian. I grew up with a very, my dad was a very Christian, you know, he was a very grounded Christian. So that took me straight back, because when everything else I had put all my hopes on failed, I went back to God. So that was the real beginning of my journey with Christ. Just so you know, I'd given my life about 20 times before then, but you know, I just used to answer the altar call and go back and return back to my wicked ways. So yeah, but this time my eyes opened and yes, this is God. Yeah, so then I had another, you know, another weight, had another child. Turns out that my husband and I have some kind of genetic incompatibility. If you can imagine two people with AS and they're having, you know, they can have SS children. That was pretty much the kind of thing that we had, but it was just something much rarer that we had. So we had this risk of having children who would have like immune system challenges. So yeah, it was my daughter had it to start off with, but then she had pioneering treatment. They did a treatment for her at Great Ormond Street that they'd never done before. So that was another story. And that one, I can tell you that story, that was just God. It was nothing, you know, Great Ormond Street will take, they will take the kudos for it. But as far as I'm concerned, it was just God through and through, because yes, that's another story.
We have to get you back to come and tell your full story.
We'll come back to that. Yeah. So then I had her, then she was okay. Now, of course, at this point, medicine and looking after somebody who had this major treatment didn't work. So I was trying to, you know, do exams and whatever. My husband by this time had run off with another woman, so that was over. Then I was very close with my sister. You know, she was kind of, she was my best friend. She was my the love. I loved her to bits. And then she just died suddenly. So there was I all alone with this child. Thank God.
You know, look, I will never forget that, because it was on my birthday.
Yeah. And she loved me so much.
She loved, her sister loved me. And they had planned to have something for me on that day. And anyway, go on.
She used to say that if she was a man, that she would have married
me.
Married. Okay, she used to say that. She used to warn Doc that you married her. If I could imagine that she's just the most beautiful, nicest person. So when she died on Pastor Funke's birthday, I was like, this is just like
she had to do.
You wanted to ensure that you that you never forget her. So then after that, thank God for Jesus House. Jesus House was the rock in my life that just kind of held me. And then recovered, and then slowly started what I call phase 2 of my life, which is what I was doing now. So that's it.
Wow. Well done. For you're still standing. Thank God.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank God.
Thank you, Lord. Yeah, when it rains, it pours, doesn't it?
It sure does.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, divorce, child lost, sister dying, and then and then Busala. Sorry?
Yeah, I always say that Toki dying, I think it impacted me more than my son dying.
Oh.
It's so odd, but I was devastated, you know. Then we got over that, then Pastor Ify died. I was like, what's going on? After a while, I was like, is it me?
Yes.
But we thank God.
Well, thank God for his grace. Thank God for his grace. And the first question I was going to ask you, Doc, is was that one of the reasons why you turned to counseling? Was that why you became a counselor?
I guess part of it was partly part of it. Part of it was, you know, I couldn't do medicine anymore because the hours I needed to put in, it just didn't work in my lifestyle. So I was thinking of something, you know, how I could, and I had two options. I was thinking, should I go into HR or should I go into counseling? But somehow counseling won. And I think, I just, maybe part of this wanting to just help people, you know, maybe the whole, if I couldn't be a doctor, this was maybe for me the next best thing. And, you know, what I studied was Christian counseling. So I could, by this time, I was totally sold out to God. So I could bring God into my working day, which obviously I couldn't do as a doctor. So that was good.
Okay. All right. Great. Okay, so we're going to have to bring Doc back to tell us the full story. Someone asked, how old was your son when he died?
12 weeks.
12 weeks. Okay, yeah. He was 12 weeks when he
exactly
died.
12 weeks.
Wow. And I'm sure you still remember vividly everything that happened.
I remember very vividly. I do remember very vividly what happened. Yeah, I do remember. I remember every day, but I do remember God was good, Sha. That's all I can say. Even when I wasn't holding on to him, he was there. Yeah. He was there. Yeah, he was there. Yeah. In retrospect, he was.
And God gave you beauty for your ashes. Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
So, okay. Now today, what we wanted to talk about today, because Dr. Zoya has been running this series on Zoom, fireside chats, and it's been amazing. They talked about mental health, they talked about Black Lives Matters, and what they did last week and this week was about abuse, rape, right? And I've joined all the sessions, and it's really been amazing. Different people have come on to share the I think last week and this week, the two ladies, last week a lady came on to talk about how she was abused from a very young age, and the same thing happened. This week was a lady who was raped by a friend, a boyfriend. But you know, one thing everybody kept asking, especially the other lady, was, did you tell your mother? Did you tell anyone? And you know, we always ask that question. It's almost like putting, I don't know whether to say, blaming the victims or not telling people. But when I was on the internet a couple of days ago, the Samaritans, every July, they run this campaign, and it's called Talk to Us. And Talk to Us is about us listening to people. So I thought, you know, why don't we start to look at things from a different perspective? Why are we not creating an environment, or why do we not create an environment where people feel comfortable enough to come and say, this happened to me? You know, again, remember I said at the beginning, I said that people don't talk because they fear rejection, they fear labeling, like somebody put that there. So Doc, what is it about us? Because now I don't want us to focus on the victim, but you know, the people around, where someone cannot just come and say, Funke or Olu or whatever they call, guess what happened to me? I was raped or I was abused. How can you help us, please, Doc? You're a counselor, you're a psychotherapist, and you know all of that, coach. I want us to help us and everybody listening. How do we get to that place where people feel so comfortable? Yes, I know somebody said it's sad that society will judge it, but you know, it starts with us, you listening, and with me. And let's get to that place where it doesn't matter what happens. I know that I'm not saying we share a story and you know get on Instagram like some people do and just telling everything, you know. Yeah. But when I have a sister. When I say sister, as in a friend, someone I can talk to. I know, Lio, it's the silence culture of silence. I know, but we want to change the narratives right now. No stigma. I don't want, you know, there's a stigma about you've been raped. There's a stigma about you have this, even cancer. You know, people have cancer, which is
and they hide it.
Yeah, and they hide it, and I don't understand it. So, Doc, please, I'm begging you, help us.
As you said, it's about the recipients, it's about the people. Okay. I share my story. I don't know if I can trust you with it. I don't know what you're going to do with it. I don't know that you're going to use it to, you know, at least I can speak for my own culture, my own Yoruba culture. I can't speak for other cultures. Sometimes I would hide something because I think when my daughter wants to get married, somebody will say, don't you know the mother they raped the mother? Are you sure? You know, people talk, people are very careless. We don't respect one another. We don't show each other compassion. We don't show each other compassion that, you know, we don't look at somebody and say, even if a girl got drunk and ran naked on the street and 7 men pounced on her and raped her, we don't sit back and think, do normal people get up, get naked, get drunk and run on the street? Something, you know, we don't look for the background story. We focus on the, shall I say, the salacious, and then we put it out and then we start talking about it. So it's the consequences of what you say. that, you know, these days now we're all very careful. What do you put on social media?
Yeah.
Because employers go on social media to see what you put. So it's this censoring, this silent background censoring by the people around us. I think that's what keeps us, you know, someone said very tactless. People are very, very tactless. People are irresponsible with people's information, you know. They don't guard it with the same, as you say, it's the same people who will hide their own stuff. Will go and, you know, repeat other people's stories. And they're not repeating it for the right reason. It's about gossip and about, do you know? Yeah.
And we pray about Sister This who was
and if they're even praying, is okay.
As if they pray. But then oh my, why can't you pray on your own for Sister This? Do you have to join another person to pray for Sister This? When Sister This has said, please don't share my story.
Yeah. I mean, the last 2 weeks on Fireside, we spent a lot of effort trying to disguise the voices of my two guests that came on. And at a stage, one of them was, you know what, I don't even care. You know, I will just use my voice. And I told her, I said, I care. I care. Because if later on someone says something, you have children, you have a husband. If someone says something, I would hate to have it on my conscience that I had, because not everybody is responsible with people's stories.
True. I guess for rape victims, especially women, well, maybe men too, they're worried about their children, like you said, or the husband knowing. Maybe that's problem. But okay, so what can we do?
What can we do about? I think I would say, even if I can't tell everybody my story, I can find.
I just saw something so that I don't miss it. Someone said, I love how everyone is typing they. Then she said, let's all look inwards. Oh, yes, I agree. It's true. It's that's why I said it starts with us. It starts with us. You know, we can say yes, this, but do we, I mean, look inward. Do we do this too?
Yeah.
Do we? I'll tell you something that I did once and I really felt condemned. So I saw something on, I think it was Instagram, and I think it was this child's first birthday. And the mother got a horse-drawn thing. I think it was in Nigeria. And, you know, paraded the child round.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? You know, I thought it was excessive. So I shared it with a friend of mine. And she said, please leave her, because you don't know how long she's waited for that child. You don't know if she's waited for that child for a long time. You don't know. And, you know, I thought it is true. Look at me judging her. But I don't know I don't know her story. So maybe she's even made a pact with God that, if you give me this child, this is what I'll do. So really, we need to start looking inward, like Ebiene said. We really need to. Okay, sorry to talk. Yes, sorry, go on. You were saying?
No. I was just echoing what you say, that we need to look inward. And each time, so these days now, you know, you want to forward something. I ask myself, why? Why? What am I trying to accomplish, you know, by forwarding this, you know? Sometimes it's because I want people to laugh. Sometimes it's a joke. Sometimes there's a thing going on between me and my friend. But I think I'm a bit more responsible now too, with just forwarding things, you know? I shared once somewhere where, you know, before they used, you know, when they have all these stories on social media of, you know, this pastor did this, you know, they were eating grass, they were rolling in the mud, they were doing this, they were doing that, they're drinking. I used to forward them. And one day I felt the Holy Spirit say, you won't tell people about me, who I really am. Why are you telling people about who I'm not? And that was the last day I vowed. I said, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I will never forward this kind of rubbish to people again. If I can't go out there and be telling people who God is, then I'm not going to be doing that.
That is so true. Yeah. That is so true. And you know, it's okay, I don't want to go down that road. I was just going to say, but it's true. We're quick to share things like that instead of sharing more about Christ. Okay, so Doc, we still need more. What else can we do? You know, how can we create an environment? So let's start with home environment, for example. How can you create an environment where your daughter can come and say to you, Mommy, this person touched me? Even if, remember like your guest 2 weeks ago, where the father said, if you tell your mother, stepfather, it was the stepfather that raped her. If you tell your mother, I'll kill you. And then also the mother I know a lot of people probably didn't watch it, didn't join, but what happened was this lady had been raped by her stepfather, I think neighbors too. but
Yeah.
it was mainly her stepfather. But the mother noticed that this child was behaving funny, especially towards the stepfather. And the mother asked, "What's wrong with you?" And she
kept asking, "I hope he's not. I hope there's nothing going on. I hope."
Yeah. She kept asking, "I hope there's nothing going on." But the child said no. But that was because the stepfather had said, "I will kill you if you tell your mother." And then she also now, this is the child now thinking, if I tell my mother will kill him. My mother might also go to jail, and I'll lose both of them. So the child kept it quiet.
Oh, apparently the mom did say, "If I ever find out that he's touched you, I'll kill him. I don't mind if I go to jail." So it was like, I'm between a rock and a hard place. No matter what I do, I'm going to end up, parentless. So
yeah. So how do we get? What else could the mother? Let me use the mother as an example. Is there anything else the mother could have done?
To be honest, I'm going to say that, and I say this very carefully because I know that probably not everybody on this forum is a Christian. But honestly, you need God. You need God because in that time, in the last 2 weeks, I've heard so many testimonials that, I'm actually in pain because you find out children praying with children, they do things they're not supposed to do. One child, I don't understand. Maybe they're more exposed. Maybe they're not, I mean, all of us know by now, many people know that, you won't leave your child with some random person. You won't leave your child with, a houseboy, driver. I mean, people still do it, but most sensible people won't. But that younger brother that you trust, that you think, oh, but he's my younger brother. I mean, at what point do you draw the line where you say, I can't let anybody in? Somebody was telling me a story yesterday that a friend of hers in Nigeria, a lovely, very nice, sensible lady, hired an old mama nurse. And this mama nurse's problem was just, her brief was, you must never leave my children alone, unattended with, when there are men around. And apparently, I think one time she went, and when she found out mama nurse had gone to sleep and left these young children, or gone to take a bath and left them with the houseboy, they said this very polite, lovely lady pounced on this mama nurse and gave her a thorough beating. And she was furious. And all she could say was, the one thing, I don't ask you to clean. I don't ask you to cook. I don't say bath the baby. Just shadow I pay you money, just shadow. Why couldn't you take a bath when why would you do this? Of course, there must be a story behind that, And, so it's, the point I'm saying is that you can't, even when you actually spend money to hire somebody to just watch over children, even when you say you don't let them go to people's houses, I remember then I used to tell my daughter, when someone invites her over for the night, I want to know who is in the house. I call them the mom. I have a conversation with the mom. I talk to the mom because all I want to do is I want to put that thing out there that this is a helicopter mom. This mom takes it seriously. Don't leave my child. I drop it there that I have just one child, so I'm sorry, I don't play with her. You need that other mom needs to know that. I don't want any story. I don't want any. So in as subtly as possible, I make sure that message is across, that the mother is on at alert. But I found out from so many of my friends, so many people who have contacted me, where they will say that I went to my cousin's house. We went there for Christmas. Then my boy cousin started fiddling with me. Only God can tell us. That's the way I feel. Only God can alert us and say, don't leave your child there. Take your child home. Don't leave your child to spend the night there. Make another arrangement. But, and I found out that the kids probably won't say, because sometimes they don't even know, they're not comfortable, but they don't know how wrong it is.
So does that mean that we need to have that conversation with our children from an early age?
Very early age. Yeah. I know there's a thing that they're running around that the government has set up called pants.
Okay.
Where they put it in toilets in many of the schools. I believe in Brent, it's in the toilets, a pants campaign where they just make a thing of telling them very early that from the very early age, just put it there as part of the narrative that you see that place is for you and you alone. Nobody has any business touching it. And try to tell them that if anybody touches that area, shout, tell somebody it's wrong. It's not a game. It's not funny. It's not only you and possibly your mom and dad should be touching there. People have come back and said, oh, but you're not allowing children to be children. Fair enough. the world doesn't allow them to be children.
Unfortunately,
so rather than absolutely, so rather than scar your children, put it out there. Just you don't have to put it in a frightening or a threatening way. You can just it can just be part of the same way you learn history, the same way you learn ABC. You also know that nobody touches you. Nobody. If anybody's rubbing up against you,
someone said her mom told her that not even your older cousin. So it was even because, like you said, most times it's people around you. I mean, close family members, uncles, cousins, and sadly, even dads. That's when I can never understand how a father will abuse a child. I don't get it. I mean, I think you must be sick, really. And yes, have that conversation with you. Have the conversation with your son. I have this conversation with my son. We need to tell our children, and it's not just the girls, but also the boys too, because it does happen to boys. Also, it's just
other boys abuse them. Older domestics abuse them. Older aunties abuse them. There's. If I had a child, I mean, if I have a grandchild, my grandchild I will spend time. I will encourage my daughter. You need to, when I have my grandchildren, you need to tell them from a very early age. You need to tell them it's not a game. It's not funny. It's not a game. So nobody should tell you like it's a game. This is what we do. When we're playing mummies and daddies, you don't need to touch me. Mummies and daddies should not go beyond we're cooking food and we're,
Doc, a question. What are practical ways of reducing victim shaming and victim blaming in the church?
This is me in my counselor hat coming on now.
I
can't stop the church from shaming and blaming, but I can know who I am. You see, the people in the church, for whatever reason, they have their own. The only thing I can do is educate them. But I can't stop them shaming and blaming. And I'll give you an example. Many years ago, one day, when my daughter was young in junior church, I don't know, in Jesus' house, I don't know what they were talking about. But someone asked her about her parents, and she said, my parents are divorced. And later on after the service, this mom came to me and called me aside. She wanted to talk to me. So I said, yeah, what? And she told me, she said, oh, I need to be very careful that my daughter said that her parents were divorced, that I need to stop her from saying that. So I asked her, where are you going with this? She said, oh, that, this is not the sort of thing people should be saying. I lost it. I lost it completely. I told her, I said, I need to warn you. You need to be very, very careful. Don't put shame on my daughter where there is none. For whatever reason, her parents have made choices that have nothing to do with her. She is not less than any other child whose parents are together. There is nothing wrong with her. As far as it is within my power and in the power of the God that I trust, it will have no effect on her. I cannot allow you or anybody to start making my daughter feel that there's something wrong with her over something she had no control over. I said, so I resent what you're saying totally. Don't ever talk to me like this again. This is me that I never get angry. I gave her the dressing gown. I was hopping because all I could think was, if I leave this woman, next thing, this poor child will start feeling, this is the beginning of low self-esteem. There's something wrong with me. Was she there? Did she tell her father to run with another woman? She didn't. So why would you put it on her? So this is how we start messing children's minds up. It's the same thing in church. You have to know who you are.
You're right.
I get flack for being divorced, but I've decided, you know what? That's your own problem. Thank God you are very, very fortunate. You are still married. When people ask me, I'll say, how many people do you know in this world who get up and say, you know what? I married this man. I had children with him. I had plans for my life. Then one day I decided, you know what? Hey, whatever. I want to go on my... Most people find themselves in that situation. It's like somebody's child, someone's husband dying. Did they plan it? They didn't plan it now. So why are you making... If you want to feel bad, that's your own. Don't put your own issues on me. I don't feel bad. These are the cards that have been dealt. But in spite of it, I am going to be happy. I'm going to live a very fulfilled life with or without any man.
I think the truth is that we're always quick to judge because, like you said, divorce is not an easy thing. Most people, they wait up, they pray, but if it's not resolved, then hey, But
Yeah.
you don't judge people when you don't know their story. It's so important. And, you know, like Bene said, and a few people have said, it has to start from us, you know, making that decision, being intentional that, you know, even when you think, oh, I want to say something, you just keep your mouth shut, you know, and we start to learn to listen more. Doc, can you talk about how we listen? This gift, I know you have that gift of listening, because I can't do what you do. I can't. I don't even have, I mean, you sit down for 1 hour listening to somebody talk. I really can't do it. I try, but I get distracted. So please, can you explain this gift that God has given you? Please, how do we listen to people? The things that we do that would draw people out, that where, I mean, we all don't want to become counselors, but
Yeah.
we can at least make an effort to listen. Please help us.
I think the first thing is to understand that when you're listening to somebody, I'm going to close myself. This is not about me. I'm listening to you. It's about you. So my first reaction is, because you know, when someone tells you a story, you want to say, oh, me too. You know, me too, me too. I think that's the first thing. Kill that off, you know, and then help yourself to understand. We're all very used to say, how are you doing? How are you? Fine. I need to know more about that fine. That fine, I need to start getting beyond the obvious fine. And obviously there's a place for fine, and it has to suffice. Yeah. But there's also the place. So now when I reach out to maybe somebody, you know, God drops someone on my mind during this lockdown, I call them, how's everything going? They say, fine. I go, how fine is fine? You know, what's really going on? You know, I have to delve deeper. I can't just accept there, because by
and we do that, especially in church, Doc. You know, do that. How are you? I'm blessed. I'm fine. I'm highly favored. Yes. Please go on.
But when you ask blessed, no, I know you're blessed. I'm blessed too. But what's really, really going on? When you dig a bit deeper, that person realizes that, okay, this person doesn't just want a social answer. This person actually cares. Then they start, you may get more than you bargained for, but you will start beginning to see. And once you give people permission to keep talking to you, you will get a lot more than you want. Obviously, they're practical things. They teach you a lot of things about it. You know, I went and studied a lot about it. That is not everywhere. Sometimes you have to create optimal environments. So when I ask somebody, when I talk to somebody, I ask them how they are, and I hear that hesitation, the fine, I'm like, you really fine? And they're like, Doctor, it is well, Joe, you know? Even if it's just, don't worry, I'll call you later. Because I know probably in this public place, we can't have that full conversation. So I call them later, and then we have a proper conversation where I then ask them what's really going on, you know? You talk to them, encourage them, pray with them, but let them talk. You know, someone is saying it is well, that's a good answer a lot of us give. But, you know, as someone taught me very recently, someone asks you a question and they say, so how are you doing? And you go, I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank you very much. You know, there's certain things you can say that can shut a conversation down. It is well is a shut the conversation down. So someone says, you know, they have put me on, I don't know, furlough, or they or you know, my company is doing you know, they're I don't know, firing people, and you go, it is well, that's the end of the conversation. Whether you like it or not, you shut the conversation down. You know, God is on the throne.
Oh, we thank God.
If you ask another question, then the person will feel open. So sometimes even the things we say, we need to be careful. They're good things, but what it does is you've drawn a line.
You know, there's another thing that we say, Doc, when somebody's when someone says something where, so for example, someone says, oh, I've been furloughed or I've been made redundant. I say, you know, God must have another plan for you. Why? And then when somebody loses a loved one and they want to talk, but again, we shut them down by, you know, the things. Anyway, sorry.
You know, it's because we are uncomfortable. The listener is uncomfortable. I hope you know that's why it is. You're going to take me into an area that I'm not comfortable. You can start crying. You can. I don't know what to do. So I quietly, just nicely with Christianese, I just shut the conversation down, because I am saying I need to get out of here. I can't deal with this. Whereas all that person wants to do is just talk.
We're equally scared of digging deeper. True. because we can't handle. But then even if we can't handle it, we can point them to someone. I mean, how many times, Doc, have I said to you that, Doc, this person needs counseling? Because I know I can't.
Yeah.
So even if you're not able to point them to someone who can help them,
you know, and grit your grit your teeth for that 5-10 minutes while they at least get chapter 1 off their chest, and then say, oh wow, you know what, I think maybe you should talk to, you should get some help for this. Even be honest and say, I'm not sure that I can, best handle this. Listening to you, I'm thinking maybe I know someone who can probably even help you with this. Do it as part of the care for the person.
Okay.
Are you trying to? Okay.
Sorry, this is a question. What about, someone said, what about if someone's asked, if you've probed and the person is still not responding, what do you do?
If they're not responding, then again, that maybe invariably, maybe something is wrong. Maybe they're not comfortable where they are.
Yeah, because
maybe
for example, I was just going to say that if you're in the corridor or the foyer in church, for example, and then you're trying to get someone to open up, of course, the person's not going to open up there.
Yeah.
So you have to have the right environment, right?
Or you could be calling someone on the phone. There's people around.
Yeah.
So if somebody's not opening out, you can say, oh, do you want us to talk later? You can do that sort of thing. You can signpost them to somebody, They may just not be comfortable with you anyway. Sometimes the story might even have to do with you, and you don't and they don't even know.
The story might have to do with you.
And they're thinking, should I tell her how she upset? You never know. So again, it's just to create that, I guess, to the best of your ability. You create that environment and, always give them, if it's not, maybe we should, do you want us to do this later? Is this a good time? That's a good one. And they go, oh, sorry, I'm working, or yeah, actually, let me call you back. That tends to help a lot. And
I mean, I've seen a few comments that said things about fear of confidentiality. Maybe they're not ready to divulge yet. Someone said, observe the non-verbal and body language, not just the spoken words. Yeah, I think that's what most people, we should all learn to listen. Yeah. Okay. Another question. I don't know if you're able to answer this, but you don't have to. How does the church deal with these issues, as most people live a lie when people are dealing with real issues?
I mean, I can speak for my church. I think my church is quite gracious in terms of a lot of these things. I think I would testify that I think Jesus House is very real in terms of, and I can only speak for Jesus House because Jesus House is all I've known for, I don't know, 20-something years. Jesus House is real, where to the best of their ability, we deal with those things. We deal with those things where we support, we pray, I know even Pastor does a lot of, he's very into this emotional healing. Every so often we have these healing services where people are just allowed to, come forward and ministers pray with them. It's a testimony that Jesus House sets up a counseling unit and pays people just to counsel people, to be able to offer services at a reduced or, free or subsidized, very heavily subsidized rates for people, so that, people have that opportunity to get the healing. It's a testimonial that Jesus House will put on, or create environments where people can even have deliverance with trusted people. People can go for, like spiritual and emotional deliverance with trusted people, but, that is Jesus House, the organization. The people within Jesus House, obviously, I can't control them. You can't control them, but who you're talking to.
Yeah, I'm just going to say that I think one thing we don't realize is that church is a hospital, and different people are going to walk in there, and you don't know where they're coming from. They come with different baggages. So yes, things will happen in church, but don't let that affect your relationship with God, because a lot of people get, oh, they did this to me in church, and because of that, I'm not going back to church. It's not, sometimes not necessarily the leadership, it's just the people in church, but church is a hospital. Gosh, okay. We have 9 minutes. Let me take another question.
And there's nothing more powerful than sharing your story, you know.
Oh,
There
yes,
is
Doc.
nothing.
I was actually going to say, can you explain the benefits of sharing your story?
Okay, like I say, it's like you have a boil.
Yeah.
You have an abscess in your body, you know, a boil on your leg, and it's not swollen yet, but when you touch it, you can feel the pain.
Yeah.
But it looks, when you just look at it, it looks okay. For a lot of us, traumas and past experiences are like that. They're there. The skin is covering them. When you look at it from a distance, everything seems fine. You know, once we all put on our makeup and do our hair, wear our wig, weave on, whatever, we look okay. Yeah. But a lot of people carry wounds inside them. And the devil loves darkness. You know, and most of the battles we have are in our mind. All we need is someone or something whispering, just one whisper from the enemy into our minds, and the thing starts, our mind starts churning. We haven't filed it away. We haven't, because it's bad, it's wrong. So we have nowhere to file it and put it. So it's always there, just buzzing around somewhere, just waiting for something to poke it and for it to erupt. But once you say it, once you speak it out, it's a bit like, it's like you're processing it. You start it. Your mind finds a way of cataloging it and putting it away and dealing with it. You know, if you find, if something's happened, you may just be focusing on what has happened, whereas the problem is you're ashamed about what has happened. But if you talk about it, you can then begin to see, actually, I'm ashamed. Why am I ashamed? Should I be ashamed? Actually, it's not my fault. If I was minding my business and some man decided that he didn't have self-restraint, it's not my fault.
No, it's not.
You know, and even if I'm trying to tell myself I put myself in danger, well, you know, it's supposed to be a free world. I'm supposed to be able to walk around safely. It's part of, you know, but you can reframe it and make sense of it, you know, and we learn a lot from telling our stories, whether we like it or not. You remember Jesus, most of the biggest lessons Jesus taught us was in the form of parables.
Yes.
So hearing stories, telling stories is really, really powerful from that perspective. You know, you will learn, other people, that your listeners will learn from it.
And you're empowering others when you tell your story.
Absolutely. Because everybody believes it's only me, you know, I'm the only one it happened to.
Yes. So telling your story brings freedom. It's like the boil. Once then you feel relief. So it brings freedom.
The pus comes out. And
the pus comes out. It brings healing for you too. And it empowers others, like I just said. Thank you very, very much. Okay. Listen, Doc, I was thinking today that I feel, and I might be wrong, but you tell me, I think because we all have stories, right? I think we all need some form of therapy or counseling. I think we all do. No, seriously, I'm just thinking I probably do, especially because you know, we do certain things and we don't understand why we do those things. So that means something may have happened in our past, but we probably haven't had time to sit down to think, why do I always do this like this? Why do I always react this way? You know, but because we all have stories, I just honestly feel that we need, every single one of us, we need therapy or we need counseling, or at least someone that we can share our stories with. And you know, sharing your story doesn't mean that you have to come on social media, doesn't mean you have to write a book. It's just simply finding someone who will believe in you. Someone who will say, I believe you. Yes, it was not your fault that you were raped. It was not your fault that you got a divorce. It was not your fault. Even if it was your fault, maybe you did something wrong. You know, it doesn't matter. But the takeaway from today, people, like Dr. Zoya said, is please let's learn to listen, read books, go on courses if you need to, especially if you work with people or if you feel that there's more you can do. Just find out how I can become a better listener, how I can create an environment where people are drawn to me, as in you, whoever the person is, where they feel comfortable enough to tell you their story. And you know, again, when I say story, it's not just abuse or whatever. It could be motherhood. It could be, you know what, I can't cope. I'm not coping. I mean, we're locked down with, this is somebody probably has children, young children, say, I've been locked down with 6 children or 5 children, even one. for almost 4 months
in
now.
a small flat. I've been
In a
locked
small
up
flat,
with
yeah.
a 3-year-old in a flat
Yeah.
for 3 months. And I actually want to throw this child away.
Yeah. So he said, shout, I need help. You know, I need someone. So it's just, that might be your story right now. But every single one of us, we need to find someone that we can talk to. So before we end, if you feel that you need counseling or you need therapy, Dr. Zion is available. Please send her a DM. Her handle is at XXION. We've also got Jane Banfo, who was with us last week. Jane's handle is Pastor J Banfo at Pastor J, as in like jog, Banfo. And then there's another lady called Chineye. Tinike and Bisola, please let me put up all of this. But please find someone that you can talk to. And also, remember we said at the beginning that we are the ones that are going to change the narrative. We're going to be the ones that will stop judging people. We're going to be the one that will start shaming people. We're going to be the one that will stop, rejecting, labeling people. It starts with us. So we are not going to blame other people. At least God can see that you're doing your bit. If I start to do my bit, Dr. Zoe does her bit. Tinike does her bit. Bola does her bit. Chinyere does her bit. You know, the world will definitely change. Yes. And anyway, I could go talk. Give us a closing.
If someone steals money and gets fired, they've done something wrong, but that's not the end of their life. There's still much more to them, to them than the thief, than them being a thief. And so what we're trying to do is say, okay, fine, you've made mistakes, lay it aside, but there's so much more to you. Let's plumb into the depths of that wonderful creation, that person God created, and not just focus on the mistakes or the wrongdoing.
Yeah. Dr. Z, you've got your first client. Someone said, on your list, the first on your list.
You're very welcome. Very, very welcome.
Oh, God. Someone said, I actually share sometimes so that people that know, some people know that they don't have a hold on me and I'm not ashamed. Yes. Because, like Doctor, I think you said it, where you feel that you're the only one that's going through. But your story will liberate others. I mean, you know, this me movement, that's how it started, where somebody came out and then other people started telling their story. So tell your story, please. Go on.
Yes, and I think sometimes when you're out there, when you tell your story, when you take control of your narrative, what you're putting out there is that, hey, dude, you shamed me, whatever you did to me, you cannot control the rest of my life. This is just one aspect of my life. And yes, you've done what you've done, you've taken what you've taken, but the rest, the 99% left of me is good, is wholesome, is perfect. And I'm not gonna give you, there's more to my life. The narrative of my life is not somebody raped me. The narrative to my life is, this is me, Zion, whatever else happened. And it's because of time, I'm trying to rush.
We are not defined by what happened to us. Please know that. You are not defined by what happened to you. You know, when God created you, he knew who you're going to be. And so when God called you, he called you by who you are, not because of what happened to you. Just know that you are not defined by whatever it is that happened to you. Doctor, do you have a scripture or anything for us? We've got 13 seconds left.
That thing, whatever it was that happened to you, it's part of God training you to be who you're supposed to be. You know, quickly, if you remember the story of Joseph,